Bienvenidos a Candid Flow Podcast.
Candid Flow
My name is
Podcast.
Jessica Delgado,
My name
and
is
this is Carl.
Carl James to you.
Carl, why did we start this podcast? Why? What was our intention? Why are we even here? What are we even
Why
doing?
are we here? What are we doing? What is life? What is the meaning of life? This is Carl.
This is Jessica.
And this is the Candid Flow Podcast. Season 1 is all about love and relationships.
Relationships are hard to navigate.
They can be beautiful, painful, triggering, and oftentimes they show us where our greatest weaknesses are.
In this podcast, we discuss relationships with other people, the world, and most importantly, the relationship we have with ourselves.
Because when you heal your inner self, you will attract the divine, meaningful relationships you have always wanted.
So Carl, tell me about you. Tell me so people can get to know you better.
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about growing up and what you do now? Where you are now?
Yeah. So I was born in Idaho, and then we moved kind of back and forth from California to Idaho all the time. We grew up super religious, and Mormon. But my dad, there's the Mormon rules, and then there was my dad's rules, right, which was a whole other thing. And lots of shame. My dad was emotionally abusive. And sexually abusive. And so I was actually very depressed as a teenager. I struggled with, I don't think I've ever even told you this, but I struggled with suicidal thoughts and everything as a teenager. I had a really hard time. And I was very angry as a child because of everything, and of course I didn't remember everything until, recent years even, some of it anyway. But, so it was maybe a difficult childhood, but it's interesting because when you're in it, it just is your childhood. It's only difficult when you look back on it, and it just becomes a story you tell. And what's interesting about that is, as I started to realize all of these different things about my childhood, I realized, maybe as a child I was the victim. I think that's the only time not the only time, that's one of the only times there is a true victim, is a child, right? There's other situations too, of course, but children especially. But I then carried on, because of that belief that I had a hard life or that I was the victim, I then carried that into adulthood. And I began to get into relationships and situations where I could reaffirm the belief that I was the victim, right? And that wasn't until the past couple of years where I really started to realize that and try to shift my perspective. And the only person I'm a victim of is myself, right? Like, I chose all of those situations. I chose all of those relationships. And so, anyway, now though, I feel like I'm in a really good place in life. I am blessed to have the best friends in the world. Dating, but not taken currently.
Yeah.
And I'm a photographer. I do real estate on the side, and I love to write. I love to paint and all of anything art. I love to sing, just literally everything.
Skincare too.
I do have my skincare line, yeah, which I do love, my face oils. And I think everything that I do, even with my cooking, I'm very, very intentional about it because, and I'm very passionate about health, of course, which is why I have my skincare line, because it's all natural and all of that. And I really believe in, the secret ingredient being made with love, right?
Yeah.
And it really is so powerful. And, there's even studies where you can do muscle testing with this, where you can look at something that was created by hand or a computer-generated image, and you will muscle test weak for the computer-generated image, and you'll muscle test strong for the handmade picture, sculpture, plate. It doesn't matter what it is. And that has really kind of shifted the way that I approach everything. Okay, do I actually want to buy this? No, this is made in just like a factory, right? So maybe I can wait and buy something that was made by hand, or maybe I can just create it myself, or something. So I'm trying to put more love and intention into every aspect of my life.
That's beautiful.
And I think that's what makes it beautiful. And so, and I've had people that have kind of taught me that over the years to truly appreciate what's around me and all of that. So I can't take full credit, of course, but just very blessed. And I think there's a lot of information out there, and my goal with this podcast is to help people to share the knowledge that I've learned over the years. I've been to therapy and all sorts of different types of therapy. I've done plant medicines. I've done all sorts of different healing modalities, energetic this and all these different things. And it's hard because when I left the church, in 2021-ish, I had a really hard time because all of a sudden I didn't know what to believe anymore. And I believed in God. I just didn't know what that looked like anymore. And I mean, none of us really truly ever knows. But I feel like I have a really good relationship with God now, or with Source. And, my goal is with this, yes, we're talking about relationships, but we're going to throw some other stuff in there too, for sure. And so my goal is to be able to share all of that and to be able to share the space with you, who I think is just a beautiful soul. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think that's probably a good summary of me.
Yes.
I don't know what else to say on that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I think it's beautiful, and maybe we go deeper into that
Yes,
stuff
of course.
later on other episodes. For those
course.
this is just brief for those that
Mm-hmm.
don't really know us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm Jessica Delgado. I was born and raised in Venezuela. I moved to the United States, I think it was in 1998, 1999.
Okay.
When I came here, I didn't know English. And let me go back a little bit about Venezuela. I grew up in a different culture. We didn't have religion, wasn't such a big deal. My mom was Catholic, but it wasn't like in a third world country having 5 girls and 1 boy. You have to she was more like, oh my goodness, don't do this and that.
Right.
She
Just
wanted
keep
to
you safe.
Right. She didn't want us to be a teenager and pregnant, whatever, right?
Right. Yeah.
And we grew up in nature a lot. We just run outside bare feet all the time, connected to, because I was born in such a small town called Amazonas. Like the jungle is right there. It's beautiful. Cool. And growing up in Venezuela was beautiful. I know that you just wanna, it's a different kind of lifestyle. You just, my parents work hard just to have food on the table.
Right.
So you appreciated life really a lot, right? And moving here, it taught me more about myself. Like I had a sister here in Utah. That's why I moved from Venezuela to Utah, because I get that question often. Why did you move from Venezuela to Utah? So I moved here because I had family here, my sister. So coming here, I didn't know English, and I didn't know the culture either. So it was a culture shock. I'm like, I'm the only Latina here. I don't speak English. I have to dress certain way to fit the culture, which in Venezuela we dress very light clothes. We show a lot of skin. And so it was a little bit kind of hard at the beginning. I learned English, and then I went to school, and then I got married and have 2 children, beautiful children. But now I'm divorced. Now that's why we started doing this podcast too, because we're dating, and we're so different, but at the same time so we align with so many things too in the dating, I guess, world or industry, I don't know, market.
Yeah.
You name it. I don't know.
All of the above.
All of the above. And now I model. When I moved to, I did beauty pageants in Venezuela, and when I moved here, I continue with my career, which I love, and I teach a local academy, and I'm a health coach. I do meditation, sound healing, and I love, because what life had taught me, losing my parents and my doggies, and grief. When you go through marriage, divorce, you have to grieve that relationship too, to move forward, right, and to grieve your country. My parents, my dogs, like I grieve a lot. I have gone through that, and all that pain, all the hardships have guided me back to myself, to my heart. And I'm grateful that I took this approach in life. And that's why we're so open, and you're going to get to know our life more during this podcast, in more detailing why, we do the things that we do. And we're really honest and open with everyone. And we're just 2 human beings sharing our story with everyone. And I hope you guys can connect with us, right? And with our pain and fun,
hopefully
crazy
some
life,
fun. Yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah. 100%.
But this is a little bit about us, Like you say, we're gonna talk more about into that deep pain and grief and loss as well.
Right.
After the dating.
Yes. Well, and of course all the good stuff too, but I think there's so much unprocessed negative emotions because we don't like to feel them, and so we'll talk more about that for sure.
Right.
But yeah,
So,
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
very
yeah,
excited.
well, and
Sharing
if,
a life.
yeah, and if you have any questions that you want us to answer or topics that you want us to discuss, please go to www.candidflowpodcast.com, and there will be a contact form for you to submit any questions or topics or anything that you want us to talk about. That's always very helpful. So, or if you have stories that you want to share, anything like that, please feel free to send them our way. So, and then of course follow us on Instagram at Candid Flow Podcast as well. So, yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah.
This is episode 1.
When
Not
was your
British.
last relationship, girl?
Listen, I haven't been touched since July of 2025, okay?
Oh, that's too long.
It's too
I think
long.
it's time for Carl to be a priest
Yeah.
or try. I don't know how
Audition, resume,
Apply.
apply.
Oh my
We're gonna
God.
apply.
Like, we're here to share our private life with you guys. Everything. Like, you
Almost
name it.
everything.
Like dating.
No names.
Yeah, no names.
No
So don't
names.
worry about the people that we have dated in the past and they're watching this. Don't worry. We'll never say your name, but you might hear your stories here and you might not like what we have to say. This is the first episode and we're nervous.
We ain't never done this before. Okay, season 1, we're going to be spilling the tea on relationships.
Salud.
Salud. Wow, that's loud. This is what we're drinking today. We have Blue Lotus tea with borage that I grew myself. I grew the borage, not the Blue Lotus.
Every time we're together, we talk about the dating life. And I said,
Yeah.
well, why not doing a podcast and we can share our experiences,
Yeah.
our point of view.
Yep.
And then you guys can ask any questions and you can share your stories too, because I think that's why we're here, right? To
Yes.
just share highs, lows, experiences.
Well, why don't we start by you sharing a little bit more about your dating history? Because how long were you married?
20 years.
20
Yeah,
years.
20
And you have 2
years.
kids,
I have 2 kids, yeah.
which
So we
are
were separated.
somehow adults already.
yeah.
Which is absolutely crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
And we were separated for a while.
Yeah.
But so when the divorce came, we were just over. Like it was
Yeah.
over, even before signing the
Right.
papers. But it has been a learning experience for me just
Yeah.
to know what's going on out there and
Right.
the things that I want and I don't want.
Right.
And it's been an eye-awakening for me because it's like I feel like people are kind of disconnected from oneself. They don't know who they are.
Right.
So when you meet people and I'm like, oh my gosh, I like this guy. And I get so excited. And it's like, I can't wait to get to know him or more. They just disappear.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is this? What kind of joke or what kind of game people are playing? Like, this
Right.
is just weird.
Well, this is where I think we'll start to talk a little bit more about attachment and how that's going to either push or keep, the attachment style is going to either keep or push people away, because I think that's actually really important.
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about that in the podcast too.
Right.
But yeah, and then for me, my dating history, gosh, I don't know.
Have you been married?
No, never been married. I'm 30, I turned 31 this year, and I dated, my first relationship was in 2023, actually, because I came out in it was December 31st of
Okay.
2020, so pretty much 2021.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's when I had left religion. I dated a little bit, going on dates and things like that. And honestly, this is what's weird is, so I didn't grow up feeling very attractive at all, ever. And I knew that some girls thought I was cute, and that always kind of blew my mind because I was like, wait, really? It was just, I had very low self-worth. And then 2020 came, and I actually did get on dating apps for guys, and I started getting all of this attention. And I mean, guys, frankly, will fuck anything, but also these were really attractive guys. And I was like, wait, maybe I'm okay, I'm decent. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe I'm not as ugly as I thought I was, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which is
no, I know
so
what you're
weird to say out loud. But then I dated a little bit, but not very much. And then my first relationship, about 2 years of pretty much nothing, more or less,
Right.
lots of learning. And then I had my first relationship in 2023, and then I've had a couple since then.
Nice.
But
And
I've been single for quite a while now. But
what have you learned, during these relationships?
Yeah.
What have you learned about yourself?
everything, I think every relationship is going to turn itself around to force you to look at yourself, to be honest, because so this one, this first relationship is very, very short. It was about 6 months, but I quit my job. I moved several states away, the whole 9 yards for this relationship, only for it to turn out to have been, I'm going to say mistake, but we learn from our mistakes, so that's not a bad thing, right?
Right.
So it was the day I got there, I was like, oh, I messed up. This is not it.
Shoot.
Literally the day I got there. And we
Dang.
didn't even talk for like that day. It was pretty, and then the relationship was really toxic. It was really bad. Very unhealthy, and my dog wasn't happy, I wasn't happy, it was a whole thing. And I wrote it out for a couple of months, and then I wound up moving in with a friend here in Utah.
Oh, I see.
So
okay.
again, moved states one more
Right.
time, just to break up, and then
Right.
had to go back and get my stuff and all this
But
stuff.
rewind.
yeah.
Where did you meet this guy? And what
Tinder.
white? Oh, Tinder.
No, this is a dating
okay.
app. Okay, yeah.
And then you'd never met him in person. Oh,
So
you
yes,
did?
we had. Yeah.
Okay.
So we met on Tinder while I was out in San Francisco visiting someone else.
Okay.
But we weren't dating.
Right.
Like,
Just
we
meet
were-
up. Yeah.
Friends with some extra,
Benefits?
maybe, kinda. Like, we wrote letters to each other. We'll have to talk more about that
Okay.
story because that's very romantic. Like,
Okay.
literally changed. I think still to this day, I have this picture of what romance can be, and I believe that it is real because of that experience.
Right, yeah.
So anyway, regardless, we'll talk more about that later. But I was out there in San Francisco for that, and then I think my Tinder was just on. I wasn't really swiping because I was very present with this individual that I was on, but because
Right.
of that, I showed up in the area.
Uh-huh.
So then he had swiped on me, and then when I got home to Colorado, maybe a week later, whenever I was
Right.
on Tinder again, I saw that on one of my likes, and then we started talking and all of this stuff.
Okay.
And so we met on a dating app. We talked for a while. He came to visit. I went to visit, and then I
Moving
went.
together was just like not a good
Like,
idea.
No, we thought it was. I thought it was.
Right.
And I took advice from people that were in toxic relationships
Oh.
to stay, even though I knew in my
You were
here
yeah.
that it was not a good idea for me to do
Right.
that. Like, of course, I was excited and I talked myself into it,
Right.
but it was already starting to get toxic, and I just took advice from the wrong people, which is where you have to just trust yourself. So I think it taught me to trust myself. Circling back to your question now,
yeah.
taught me to trust myself. It also showed me all of the areas that I am still struggling,
Yeah.
where I would take things personally, and I had a very, I would say, kind of anxious attachment style. And at first it felt very healthy, but because of the relationship and how toxic it was, it wound up becoming a very anxious attachment style.
Oh, I see.
And so sometimes you have that period, no matter what
Mm-hmm.
relationship you're in. Sometimes it's triggered by the other partner. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Regardless, just wasn't healthy, and I wasn't
Right.
healthy either. And it wasn't until we got out of the relationship, because I blamed everything on him, and I played the victim. And my cousin was like, well, you were the victim. He was narcissistic, and he was this, and he was
Yeah.
that. And it's easy to say, yes, yeah, you're right. It was all him. But at the end of the day, I showed up in the relationship.
Right.
I chose that relationship for a reason. And did I really show up as my best self the
Yeah.
whole time? No, I didn't.
Right,
And
yeah.
I blamed, and I was anxious, arrogant, all sorts of things, right? I played the
Right.
victim, and nobody likes that either, you know?
No. Mm-mm.
And so, could it have been healthier? Absolutely. Is it the right fit? No.
No.
But it could have been healthier if I had chosen to respond differently. So this is
Right.
where we have to take responsibility for ourselves.
I know, because I
Yeah.
feel like when you say that, I feel like a lot of people these days don't take responsibility.
No.
We're all pointing fingers, because
Yeah.
I can sit here and be like, hey, the guys are this and that.
Yeah. All men, all
All
women.
men, yeah,
blah,
all
blah, blah.
women.
Yeah.
And I see that a lot in men too.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, women are this and that. And we're going to maybe get to that later on.
Yeah.
But I see that more. When I see a guy saying that, it's like, no, thank you.
Red
But-
flag number one.
Yeah, red flags, seriously. And women do that too. It's like, oh, the man this and that. But I like that you reflect on that relationship and say, okay, what are the things that maybe I need to work on so I don't repeat this pattern again or these kind of relationships too. You know, and I love that you had that kind of awakening,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
'Cause,
And it was. But then, ironically, I did the exact same thing in the next relationship.
yeah.
Which it seems like stupid because I should know better, but we don't really understand. Like, it's one thing to like know it and
Yeah, I
see
know.
it. It's another thing to change it, and it just takes time. And so I beat myself up a lot about that too. But it was still not a healthy relationship either.
Right, yeah.
So the problem wasn't the other person. The problem was that I was continuing to choose something that was very similar. Now this was
Familiar, yeah.
way better,
Right.
but it was still familiar. Yeah.
Right,
You said
right.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
Familiar.
yeah.
It's a good
No,
word.
I can
Yeah.
see that because I noticed that too. When I like go out on dates, people say, I don't want this, but they keep attracting the same
Right.
thing. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like, well, you really gonna continue attracting that because
Right.
you're familiar with that. Because when
Right.
someone's different show up in their life, they don't want it.
Right.
Because they're used to the chaos and they used to like,
Yes.
you know what I mean, what's familiar to them.
Yeah.
But I learned that a lot. One of the things that I learned in dating,
Mm-hmm.
how my life, but I had dated older men, my age, and younger guys, more younger guys.
Listen, okay, note on that. I will not date anybody under 30, and I don't think I've hardly dated anybody under 40. Meanwhile, this is just funny because it's like backwards, right?
Yes.
I'll date people like, 35, 40, 50, I don't know. I'm trying to date more around my age now, but then you've dated significantly younger than me.
Yes.
So I want to hear, we'll talk more about that for sure, but I do want to hear about like that experience and like, have you seen a difference in the maturity levels of men your age or older versus men younger?
They're younger.
You know? Yeah.
Well, I feel like, I noticing energy, like, the younger guy has fun energy, right?
Yeah,
So
it's very fun.
most of them, they're still kind of finding out who they are.
Yeah.
After they're 26, 28, they're still finding out who they are.
Yeah, I think I still am.
Yeah, and it's fine, right? But they're like, oh no, I'm gonna have a relationship maybe when I'm 30 or whatever. Like,
Right.
but you're gonna be ready when you're ready. It's not doesn't matter the age.
No.
What I think.
Yeah.
But I dated the guy. Let's talk about the older man. The older man, I have gone out with them. They have a lot of. It's okay. We all do have trauma.
Baggage.
Yeah, but they bring a lot of baggage and they're used to the familiar. I asked, how were you loved as a child? Because that's going to tell me a lot about you.
Yeah.
And there was no love, there was chaos, and they're still in chaos.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, one guy that I went out, I mean, he seemed like the first day, I remember him saying that he wants something serious, that he wants to get married again. I'm like, oh, great. I'm like, maybe this is the guy that I can build something or have something with it. And then 6 months later on, I asked him, it's like, so what are we? Like, what are we doing? Where are we going? And he's like, oh, I'm just going with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, see ya, never again. Like,
right, I know.
I learned, maybe I need to be more straightforward or whatever, right? But he said that. I remember he saying that.
But that's the thing, like if he or you, whoever, you set that expectation, you can't be surprised when the other person expects it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't have expectations for any sort of relationship because expectation is judgment.
Right.
Because you're expecting them to be a certain way. The only exception is if you set that expectation for me.
Right.
So if you tell me, I'm going to be this for you, I'm going to do this for you, this is what I'm looking for, well then of course I'm going to expect that.
Yes.
Otherwise I have zero expectations, right?
Right.
And so this is when you can say, yeah, that's on you, buddy, because you told me that.
Right.
Like even
But he's 60.
right, I know. See,
You
it doesn't
know?
change.
Yeah.
But you're talking about how they're...
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're done. Like, there's no transforming life or changing your life.
Can't
Like,
teach an
dang,
old
not
dog.
judgment, but I'm
Right.
like, dang, you're 60. Like,
Yeah.
come on, dude.
It's time to...
Or my age, when I go out with those guys, they hate their ex.
Yeah.
It's like,
As soon
they
as somebody's talking shit about their ex, especially if it's in the first couple of dates, you've got to run.
No. And I can tell, like, the energy. I'm like, oh, no, I get along with my ex. And their energy just shift.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, he didn't like to hear
It's
that.
threatening to them.
Yeah, to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did you get along with your ex? And they start, like, feeling, like, uncomfortable. They're like, move. They move a lot. Like,
why do you think it makes them uncomfortable? Like, if you're friendly, why does that affect them? If you're friendly with your ex? Like, why are they threatened by
maybe
that?
triggers something in them because they hate their ex, maybe, yeah. Because they sound like, oh, well, I do. And it's like, no, you don't.
No,
like,
now I know
you
you're
don't
lying.
have to tell me what I want to hear.
Right. And I think a lot of times people do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of men my age want to, like, they want to date younger women, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe because they're more naive. Not all of them. Or maybe because they're, I don't know, they like the young energy. I don't know. But a lot of them have, they have grudges and resentment. And I'm not for that. I just want to have fun.
Right.
And maybe that's why the younger
Like
guys
healthy
come
fun.
along. Yeah.
Not just like...
Oh, yeah.
Like genuine fun, joy, right? Like not just...
Yeah, no. Let's go on a trip. Let's go to a spa. Let's go on a walk. Let's like
Literally walk.
go to a mindset
Literally.
event. Yeah, go on a walk. Like simple
Yes.
things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Let's just chill. Let's cook a
Right.
dinner.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Something really simple, but
Right.
when we can have a deep connection.
Yes.
And the younger guys are fun. I'm not gonna lie, they're really fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it's fun just for the moment, but not fun to have a relationship with, maybe,
Right.
you know, because they're, but who
I
knows?
wouldn't know.
No, yeah.
I've never dated anybody younger. Wait, I'm trying to think. I don't think I ever have.
Really?
Always older.
I get a lot of younger guys, and I don't ask the age. I started asking age because the
Yeah.
last one was 23, and I said no.
Too much.
Yeah, too much, yeah. So I just had to now ask
Right.
the age because they think I'm 30 or something.
Right.
And they're like, no,
And
you
you
know,
do
you're
look young.
40s.
Yeah.
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 So that's kind of the difference, though.
Yeah.
And after my divorce, only black guys will come up to me. That's it.
Okay, now this brings up something interesting because so I do think if you're an attractive person, you're going to attract everybody, right? You can't control the type of person that's attracted to you. However, I was talking to my therapist, Anastasia, and we'll have her on the show at some point because she's incredible. And she once told me, and I was so confused by this, it took me a while to get this. She said, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And at first I'm like, what the hell? I'm not a narcissistic, like whatever, like whatever. I don't treat people like that. I don't act like that. I don't do all this stuff, right? So that doesn't make sense to me. I don't think I believe that. And what she's not saying that I'm going to attract somebody exactly like me or that those people are exactly like me. She's saying I'm going to attract what my energy is aligned with. And so everybody will think you're attractive. Everybody will be attracted to you because you are a beautiful person. But what do you think is different? Because I feel like lately that hasn't been the case. Like you've attracted different types of people lately versus even just a couple of months ago. So what do you think is the reason, with now that in mind, with like the attraction, we attract what we are, not what we want. What do you think what's the difference between when you first got divorced
Thinking now.
and that first little period versus now?
Well, I think it's because, the energy. I think at the beginning I was just wanted to have fun. Like I wasn't really clear with what I wanted.
Right.
So now I'm more clear. I'm
Yeah.
more grounded
Right.
too. So I'm like, this is not serving me. At the beginning, I'm like meeting people and, different people, going to bars,
Right.
That's really not my cup of tea anymore. The thing is, like, I can meet a guy my age. Like, I don't mind if the guy's doing his work in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Healing and having a good relationship with his ex, if he's been married.
Yeah.
But the younger guys, they have really good energy. The only thing is that if they want kids, I'm not going to have more kids. That's the thing that I'm
Right.
kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
If they don't want kids, perfect. Like, let's just,
Sure.
have a relationship. But a lot of them want to get married and have kids. And I understand that. They should live.
course.
If they want that, sure.
Yeah.
Go live your life and have kids and have a family and raise
Right.
a family and all that fun stuff that sometimes can be harder too.
Yeah.
But what is not my cup of tea anymore is people that are unsure of what they want. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like
Right.
people that just want to like have fun or casual
Yeah.
relationships. It's just hard because we get as women, we get kind of attached to the men, and that's something else that we can talk about
Right.
later on when we can talk about sexual
there's-
energy.
And there's biological reasons,
Yeah.
differences even between men and women, and
Yeah.
why that is the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
But the thing is that sometimes I kind of like the double standard that kind of give me kind of,
The double standard, yeah.
because I hear, when I tell people that I go out with younger guys, 20 years younger, or even 24 years younger, they look at me like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, are you
Right.
out of your mind?
Right.
These guys, they look 30
Slut.
to me. Yeah.
Right.
They look older.
Yeah.
So that's why I started
Yeah.
asking how old they are, because I'm like, I see them and they come up to me, I don't discriminate. So I'm like, okay. I mean,
Right.
if you come up to me, I know that not that many, because this is something that bothers me. And that's in another, like a red flag or something else in another
Sure.
episode. But a lot of people assume because, Jessica is so pretty, she has a lot of men.
Right.
It's like, please don't.
Yeah.
Like, it
Right.
bothers me when people
Right.
say that. It's like, I
Right.
don't want to talk to you.
You don't even know me. You don't even know
Right.
anything about
It's
me.
like, no,
Yeah.
nobody comes up to me.
Right.
That's what I say, yes, and that's what I go out, Carl.
Right.
No, at the gym, maybe I've been going to this gym for 3 years. Only maybe 2 guys have come up to me.
Listen, I've been going to my gym for forever and not a single person. But this is the hard thing with like the difference between like straight dating and gay dating is if you're not overly flamboyant, who knows that you're gay? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
okay.
nobody knows. So and I'm attracted to men who are more masculine. So I don't know either.
Oh, I see.
Plus,
Yeah.
to be honest, I'm kind of chicken sometimes, and I don't always go up to people.
Oh.
I feel like I don't want to go up to somebody and then like
Oh,
for
I
them
see.
to think that I'm being a creep or a pervert, or you know what I mean?
Right, I know what
Or
you're
like just
saying.
trying to hit on them, and maybe I am, but there's nothing wrong
Right.
with that either. You know, okay, we're gonna talk more about dating apps in a future episode, but this is one interesting thing. Have you seen the movie Crazy Stupid? No, shoot,
I think I've seen it.
Crazy Stupid Love.
Crazy Stupid Love, something?
Yeah, is that what it's called? Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
fantastic
yeah.
movie.
Yes.
And there's no dating apps in this movie,
Mm-hmm.
and he had to put in work to get the women. Now, yeah, he was sleeping
Mm-hmm.
around and all these things. Okay, but he was putting in the work to do that.
Right.
And these women were dumb enough to go home with him.
Right.
So again, they have to take responsibility. He has to take responsibility.
Right,
Okay,
right.
this is not a blame game. Okay,
Right.
that's just what was happening, and it is what it is. Okay, but he was putting in the work. He had to learn how to be
Mm-hmm.
charismatic and to say the right thing, to do the right thing. He had to learn that and cultivate that. I'm sure when he first started picking up women,
Right.
that it was not smooth sailing. Okay,
Right.
and I'm not saying that that's appropriate behavior. However, he did have to work for it. Now on dating apps, you don't have to work for it, and so nobody's working for it. We go home, we get on our phones, we get in our dating apps, and then we swipe, and then we wait.
Is that how
for
you
them.
made your past relationship? How have you
All
made
of them.
all of them?
Every single one of them was on a
On
dating
dating
app,
apps.
and they're not here. So
Yeah.
do they work? I don't know. Right.
No, but you're right. So people don't make that effort anymore.
Right, and
because
and
it's
I
easier.
can't really be saying anything either because I don't always necessarily put in that effort
Oh, I
either,
see.
right?
Right.
This has happened a couple times too, even where I'll be at a coffee shop. I think even we were there one time,
yeah.
and we saw this guy, and we were just being dumb. We were like, "Oh, smash or pass," right? And whatever. And then when I was driving home, or when I got home, or whatever, I checked my app, and he had liked me on the app. But then why didn't he come up to me in person?
Oh, makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, for me, I wasn't interested anyway,
Oh.
but that's an immediate no. Because if you don't have the guts to come up to me,
Oh.
then why am I going to go out with you? Now, I also have to have the guts, because this is where a double standard comes in. I also have to have the guts to go and talk to you, right?
Makes sense,
But if
yeah.
I'm genuinely interested, I'm sure I will. There's just not that many people I'm genuinely interested in.
No, you're right about that.
Right.
Maybe that's why. Maybe
It's just
people.
easier.
Yeah.
It's easier to insult people. It's easier to compliment people. It's easier
Yeah.
because there's no vulnerability in swiping on a dating app or sending a
Right.
DM or liking a photo on Instagram
Yeah.
or whatever.
But you're gonna meet them in person anyways. But maybe it's easier to do it over an app
Yeah.
and then meet them
Because
after.
if you get rejected there, you don't have to
Yeah.
know how to handle rejection in person.
Right.
And this is where dating apps, I think, have changed the way, not just that we date, but that we deal with society. We don't even know how to function hardly anymore. And I was talking to a friend who I was
Yeah,
talking
fine,
about all
yeah.
these different things in society, and she's like, yeah, but those are the rules. That's what keeps society around and living, and la da da. I was like, is it working? Look at our society. Is it working?
No,
I don't think it's working.
No.
We're a mess.
Yeah.
We've never been more depressed. We've never been on more drugs and antidepressants and whatever else. It's not working. So something
Yeah.
has to shift.
Right.
When I get on there, which is like once every 3 months or something, I'm just
Yeah.
bored. And so I'm like, let's check it
Yeah.
out. I'm always like, why am I on here?
Yeah.
I'm like 2 minutes in and I'm like, what is the trash? I don't
Yeah.
know. Why am I don't know.
Right.
And then it makes me think I'm ugly when I see the people swiped on me. I'm like, is this what I attract? Like, is this my equal? Which I don't need to be arrogant, but
That's
you know what I
funny.
mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I don't know. I think people are brave to be on
Yes.
dating apps because you don't know the energy of the other person. So to meet them in person, I would feel anxious. I mean, obviously, I'm going to meet them in a public place and all
Sure.
the settings.
Yeah, you
but,
have to be safe about it. Yeah.
Right. But I would rather go out with organically,
Yeah.
meet people that will approach me. I'll be
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, yes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I always try to have a smile and look friendly.
Right. Be
So,
approachable.
Yes. Not
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
even though, you know.
And if people
sometimes-
are intimidated by that, then they're not the person that you want anyway.
Right.
That's just
right.
I think that's
Yes.
just the reality of it. And I think this is where we kind of get into the attachment styles where we're like, well, but why wouldn't they? Why didn't they come up to me?
Right.
Obviously because
Yeah.
they didn't want to. If they wanted
Right.
to, they would have.
Yeah.
And we overcomplicate it and we make it all about ourselves. That's not. And so if they didn't come up to you, or they've stopped texting you, or they've any whatever, they're not interested.
Right.
Stop making it weird.
Oh, yeah. So they say, I want this certain person or this certain type of soulmate, whatever people want to say. But
Yeah.
I wonder, I'm like, are you doing the same thing?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
Are
we have
you
this
putting in the work?
expectation for
Right.
others. But do you even have expectation for your own self? I mean, expectations is like, oh,
Yeah.
It's better not to have expectation because you're going to be disappointed your whole life.
Yes.
But yeah, I do agree with that people are really are delusional maybe because they're asking for this perfect, this type of man
It just does not
that
exist.
doesn't exist. Maybe you can find someone that, I don't know, that has almost the same habits as you do and love the things that you do, you know, and there is a genuine connection, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yes. And you have to remember too that people are not there to complete you.
No, right.
Because if you're looking for somebody to complete you, you will always be disappointed because you have to understand and you have to get to that point where you genuinely believe that you are complete in and of yourself and as a person, whole as you are, so that you can find, because if you want somebody who's all of these things, like those checkbox items, right? Most likely that's somebody who's secure, that's stable, that's working on themselves, all these different things. And if that's not what you want, then that's fine too, right? If you just want fun, that's perfectly fine, right?
Right.
Because there's no right or wrong, good or bad. It just
no. It's what you want. Yeah.
Exactly. You're right. So if you're just wanting fun, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But if you're wanting something else, but you're chasing men who are only chasing fun, there's a disconnect. And you're going to be miserable because it's not in connection with what you genuinely want, or at least what you say you want, right? So either be honest with yourself or get your shit together and start doing those things and become a whole person as you are so that you attract another whole person. If you're just goofing off, you're just having fun, maybe you just got divorced and you don't want to dive into another relationship and you just want to have fun, that's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think next episode we're going to dive more into dating apps, and relationships and how that has affected our society, hookup culture, all of those different things. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next episode.